Hey, how's it going everyone? This is the Anime Man, and welcome back to another episode of what will I be watching? The show where I go through the upcoming season of anime and tell you guys what I will be watching and what I won't be watching and give you my personal first impressions and opinions on why I chose those. Now we're here at livechart.me looking at the fall 2018 anime season, which is coming up soon, I believe. By the time this video comes out, I think it'll be like a week, maybe a few days before the season starts. So I'm kind of scraping myself in there last minute, kind of head sliding in to talk about these shows before they start. I haven't looked at this new season at all. If anything, I've been a little bit lacking behind on this year's anime, but, you know, I can still check out some of the new series that are coming out and give you my first impressions and all of that before I go and watch them. So without further ado, let's go! Alright, we're starting right here with a show that I'm probably going to get a lot of requests for, and a show that a lot of people in the next couple of months are going to be milking the shit out of for views on YouTube. Sword Art Online, Alicization. I think that's how you pronounce it. Alicization? Alicization? The katakana is Alicization, so I'm guessing it's Alicization. Yeah, this is a season 3 of Sword Art Online, and not only that, but it's going to be a 4-core series. In other words, this shit's going to be going on for a fucking long time. But let's look through the synopsis and figure out what it's about. Where am I? Before he knows it, Kirito has made a full dive into an epic fantasy-like virtual world, like every season. With only a murky recollection of what happened right before he logged in, he starts to wander around searching for clues. He comes upon an enormous pitch-dark tree, the Giga Cedar, which means giant cedar, where he encounters a boy. My name is Yu-Gi-Oh! Nice to meet you, Kirito. Although he's supposedly a resident of the virtual world and NPC, the boy shows the same array of emotions as any human being. As Kirito bonds with Yu-Gi-Oh!, he continues to search for a way to log out of this world. Meanwhile, he remembers a certain memory deep down within him. He remembers racing through the mountains with Yu-Gi-Oh! As a child, a memory that he should not have in the first place. And in this memory, he sees someone other than Yu-Gi-Oh!, a young blonde girl. Her name is Alice, and it is a name that must never be forgotten. You guys already know my thoughts on SAO, and you know, I'm not gonna open this whole thing up with another I hate SAO thing, because I know you guys are all sick of that shit. So, I'm gonna get straight to the point. Am I gonna watch this or not? Probably will, just so I can see what it's like. From the looks of it though, nowhere can we see Asuna once again, because she got fucked over like she did in SAO 2. Now there is a new girl, a new blonde girl, a new member of the Kirito Cut Club, as I like to call it. A1 Pictures back at it again, and yeah, dude, like I don't know what to say. Like, I've sorted this list out in popularity, so clearly there's a reason why this shit is #1, but I don't know what to expect out of it. I mean, concerning the TV series of SAO, they've just gotten gradually worse. So I'm hoping it's not gonna go into that form, because I made a whole video on this, links in the description, but I made a whole video talking about how I actually really enjoyed Gun Gale Online Alternative, the SAO spin-off, and I really enjoyed that. I mean, you know, yeah, it's SAO, but it was well written, it was well put together, because it wasn't written by Kawahara Reki. So, now that we're going back to the Kawahara Reki stuff, am I gonna enjoy it? I don't know. And since it's 4-core, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to sit through the whole thing. But I guess let me know in the comments below if you guys want me to make a video on it. Again, as I mentioned, you're gonna see a lot of people just milking the shit out of this for views, because that's just how it goes. You know, hating on Sword Art Online, or just talking about Sword Art Online in general, will get you views. I don't know if I'm gonna be bothered to make a video on it. I'm gonna check it out and see if it's gonna be the disappointment that I expect it to be, or if it's a surprising positive, like Gun Gale Online Alternative was. The next one, however, I'm fucking looking forward to, Goblin Slayer. And I'm really fucking happy that this is #2 on the popularity poll. Like, I'm very shocked about that. If you guys don't know, I did an interview with the author of Goblin Slayer, Kagyu Kumo. I'll leave that in the description as well if you want to check it out. And if you guys were at AX this year, then you would know that I also hosted the Goblin Slayer panel with Kagyu Sensei, the author. And we had a ton of fun there. By the way, thank you to everybody who came over to that panel. That was a super fucking fun panel. And now the anime is coming out, and the hype is real. Like, this shit is number 2 on the popularity poll, dude. Like, I'm fucking shocked, and I'm very happy. White Fox Studios coming at it. You know, White Fox always does some fucking awesome stuff. But let's read the synopsis for those of you who perhaps didn't watch the video or didn't go to the panel. A young priestess has formed her first adventuring party, but almost immediately they find themselves in distress. It's the Goblin Slayer who comes to their rescue, a man who's dedicated his life to the extermination of all goblins by any means necessary. And when rumors of his feats begin to circulate, there's no telling who might come calling next. So yeah, it is a dark fantasy series, which is rare nowadays, especially when coming from the light novel industry. As you can see, this is based off a light novel series. It kind of has like a, you know, a lot of people have compared it to series like Berserk and Claymore and, you know, all of those dark fantasy series, which I fucking love. So I'm hoping that White Fox is gonna pull through and really kind of bring that story to life, because I've read the light novel and it is fucking amazing. It is a whole ton of fun. I think people are really going to enjoy this series, and I just hope it turns out as good as the light novel. I just hope they can, I hope White Fox can translate this shit well into animation, but we're gonna have to wait and see. Up next is Tokyo Ghoul Re's second season. Now, I'm probably not gonna watch this considering that I haven't even finished Tokyo Ghoul Re yet. I'm actually trying to get my hands on the manga instead, because I've heard from every Tokyo Ghoul fan that you're better off to just read the manga, because the anime wasn't all that. You know, the whole joke last season was Tokyo Ghoul Re, more like Tokyo Ghoul read the manga. So I'm probably gonna follow along that trail, considering that I personally wasn't really all that into the original Tokyo Ghoul seasons, especially the second season. Thought was kind of shitty. First season was pretty decent, but the ending to the first season was also as shitty as the whole of the second season. I've only seen the first few episodes of Tokyo Ghoul Re though, the first season of Tokyo Ghoul Re, and it's been okay. It's been not bad. I feel like I do need to finish it though before I move on to this. So I think I'm gonna do that and then come back to this stuff, most likely after it's finished airing. Alright, up next is Fairy Tail 2018, the final series of Fairy Tail. Yeah, I love how they put that shit in air quotations, because this shit seemingly never ends. Now again, much like with Sword Art Online, you guys know how I feel about Fairy Tail, so I'm probably not gonna fuck with it. I couldn't finish the anime, I couldn't finish the manga. I've done videos on how much I do not like this show. But if you like it, then hey, that's fine. I'm sure there are a ton of Fairy Tail fans who are fucking frothing at the mouth over this shit right now. By all means, you guys go check that shit out. Let me know how it is. Let me know if it lives up to the first batch of Fairy Tail anime or the manga. I gave up on it fairly early, at least the anime. I think I gave up on it maybe after the 100th episode, so I gave it a good go. Just wasn't really my thing, so probably just gonna leave this for the fans that are familiar with the show. Now this one is interesting. Tournament on the Index Season 3. I didn't think we were gonna get a Season 3 of this shit, but in the back of my mind, I was also kind of hoping that we would get a Season 3, because the light novel of the Toara series is fucking huge. Like, there is so much story that hasn't been covered in the anime, and there is a huge, like, you know, a very, very dedicated core fan base for the Toara series. So I was hoping that maybe they'll kind of, you know, answer to that calling to bring more of the Toara stuff to animation, and there you go, JC Staff pulling through. I preferred Railgun over Index personally, but Index was also really good. Index was also a great little action sci-fi light novel adaptation, so I'm probably gonna check this one out. I feel like I have to go back and re-watch the first 2 seasons though, because it's been a while. I don't remember when Season 2 of Index aired, but I have a feeling it's quite a while. There's probably been a bit of a jump since the second season, so I feel like we need to refresh ourselves. Maybe I might go and, you know, buy the original light novel and give that a reread, see how it goes, but I'm looking forward to this. This is probably going to be pretty cool. Okay, up next is a new series called Tensei Shitara Slime Datta Ken. Now, I have briefly mentioned this light novel in a video where I kind of made fun of the whole reincarnation trope that is coming about, and this was one of those shows that came up when I was doing research for that. But it looks like 8-Bit were like, fuck it, let's turn this shit into an anime. So We get another isekai this season. Yay! But let's read the synopsis, just for those who don't know. Lonely 37-year-old Satoru Mikami, clearly we know the age demographic that this show is aimed towards, is stuck in a dead-end job, unhappy with his mundane life, but after dying at the hands of a robber, he awakens to a fresh start in a fantasy realm as a slime monster. There's clearly not going to be any such hentai, you know, esque ecchi derivative in this, because he's a slime with cute girls, right? Totally gonna be an innocent show. As he acclimates to his goopy new existence, his exploits with the other monsters set off a chain of events that will change his new world forever. As the title suggests, Tensei shitara slime datta ken, which, roughly translates to, when I reincarnated, I became a slime. You gotta love light novels, how the title explains the whole show without having to read the synopsis. I don't know what to expect of this. It's just, feel like it's just gonna be another fucking generic, shitty reincarnation, isekai shit. Although, in the tags, it doesn't say ecchi, which I'm kind of surprised about. I was expecting a kind of ecchi-esque element to come out of this, you know, maybe a harem-esque element, considering there are so many girls, but I feel, just from the way that that image is seen, I feel it's gonna be more of a comedy-focused series, which I could probably, fuck with. I really enjoy the kind of more comedy-centered reincarnation stories, like Konosuba, I could fuck with. Senyu, even though that wasn't a reincarnation story, it kind of made fun of the RPG tropes, and I feel this show is kind of gonna do the same, but in a more, unique fashion. But yeah, I'm probably gonna check this out, but I'm keeping my expectations low. I'm not expecting greatness out of this. Okay, this is a one that kind of caught me off guard from the title. It's called Seishun Butayaro wa Bunny Girl Senpai no Yume o Minai, which means stupid prepubescent pig dude doesn't see dreams of Bunny Girl Senpai. What a title. Done by Cloverworks, which I think has done some stuff in the past. I don't exactly remember what they've done. But the title has the image there has a cute bunny girl. Kinda looks like Yukino from my team romantic comedy Snafu. But let's read the synopsis, because I have no idea what the fuck this is about just from reading the title. There's a rumor about a mysterious phenomenon called puberty syndrome. Yeah, it's called puberty. It's not a syndrome, it's just a natural way of living. For example, Sakuta Azusagawa is a high school student who suddenly sees a bunny girl appear in front of him. The girl is Mai Sakurajima, Sakuta's upperclassman and also famous actress who has gone on hiatus from the entertainment industry. For some reason, the people around Mai cannot see her bunny girl figure. Sakuta sets out to solve this mystery, and as he spends time with Mai, he learns her secret feelings. Other heroines who have puberty syndrome start to appear in front of Sakuta. What if that isn't the laziest excuse to create some kind of an ecchi harem-esque gimmick in a teen romantic comedy school show? Then I don't know what is. It's like, oh, how can we make it so that all these cute girls who are innocent appear to be really sexy without it being too weird? Oh, let's make it so that the protagonist has this syndrome where he sees cute girls in these bunny outfits, but nobody else can. It sounds like the plot of a really shitty hentai, but in this case it's not gonna go anywhere that's actually exciting. How is it that these kinds of light novels get published, and then there are these other amazing light novels that I see on the internet that have actually really great stories and shit like that, that get no recognition from the industry whatsoever? Why is it these kinds of shows that get the recognition? I've had wet dreams that are like this. Are you telling me the next time I have a wet dream I should just write a light novel about it and boom, there you go. I have an anime adaptation of a wet dream that I once had. Fucking Christ. This is the shit that I see in new seasons where I'm just like, why do I bother watching anime anymore? Like, what is the point? When there's shit like this, why do I bother keeping up with the new shit when I can just go back and watch something way better, but way from the past? And that's not to say that all anime that's come out in the last couple of years have been shit. But when I see shows like this, especially this high up on the popularity poll, I expected to see this shit at the bottom. Clearly, there are a lot of prepubescent teenage boys who look at this website and are probably watching this video who are like, fuck yeah, give me some of that shit. I'm gonna give it a go though, just to see, just because I'm curious to see if this show is going to be even, worthy of a video. You're probably gonna see a video about this show from me in the near future, regardless of if it's good or bad, so look forward to that. Moving on. Next up, we have Kishiku Gakkou no Julietto. The art style is kind of interesting. Leiden, I feel, have done a lot of like interesting art style stuff based off of manga. Finally, we're seeing a new show from a manga. No, at least the first episode will stream ahead of regular broadcasting on Amazon Prime Video that nobody uses. So let's move on. To love or not to love, Juliet Persia and Inuzuka Romeo are arch enemies. They lead two high school dormitories, the Black Dogs and the White Cats, from two rivaling countries. Both factions are dead set on defeating the other to gain control over the island they have to share. Beneath the feuding exterior, however, Persia and Inuzuka long for love and peace for their budding relationship. This is like Romeo and Juliet crossed with school rom-com anime. I'm sold. I'm sold. I'm not kidding. I'm sold. I'm actually interested to see what this is like. It kind of sounds a little more unique than all the other shit that we've seen, you know? I mean, fuck. I kind of like that art style too. I like the girls, they're cute. So, gonna have to see how that goes. Alright, up next we have Ore ga suki nano wa imoto da kedo imoto janai. Just like make up your fucking mind, will you? Based off a light novel done by Naz and Magia Doroglaya. Who is coming up with these studio names? Anyway, let's read the synopsis. Suzuka Nagami is a beautiful third-year middle school student who has excellent grades and is the student council president. She wrote a novel about a little sister who dotes on her older brother, and the novel wins a light novel award. After they discuss the matter, Yu is the one who debuts as a proxy light novel author instead of Suzuka under the pen name Chikai Toano. Is it just me or am I getting some fucking Orimo Eromanga Sensei vibes from this shit? It's definitely not a good feeling. I don't know if it's because it's about a little sister who is into the otaku stuff, you know, in this case, light novels. Don't have a great feeling about this one, just because of all the PTSD that Eromanga Sensei and Orimo has given me. I don't know if I'm gonna check this one out, honestly. A little bit iffy about this one. We'll see how it goes, though. Now, this show looks fucking beautiful. Right off the bat, like before anything, the first thing I noticed was that image right there. That shit looks beautiful. And of course it's done by PA Works, who are just, like, fucking nut all over my eyes with that anime aesthetic. The series is called Irozuku Sekai no Ashitakara, which, like, I don't know if it's just me, but kind of has like an Okada Mari vibe to it, like, you know, kind of the Anohana style, just from the title. But yeah, let's read the synopsis. Set in the city of Nagasaki, the story takes place in a world where a minuscule amount of magic remains in everyday life. Hitomi Tsukishiro is a 17-year-old descendant of a witch family who grew up with stale emotions, as she lost her sense of color at a very young age. Feeling sorry for her granddaughter's future, Kohaku, a great wish, sends Hitomi to the past, the year 2018. Through exchanges with her 17-year-old grandmother and her club members, the story follows Hitomi's growth as a person. That sounds fucking nice. I can totally fuck with shows like that. I feel, just from hearing that synopsis, that this show is going to be beautiful, both aesthetically and narratively, and that it's going to be a tearjerker, most likely. I haven't looked up who wrote this yet, but it's an original done by PA Works, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's done by Okada Mari. If it's done by somebody else, then hey, props to that other person who did it. But I'm definitely going to check this one out. Like, this series looks beautiful, it sounds beautiful, and I think I'm going to fall in love with it. Moving on. Alright, up next we have Golden Kamui's second season, which I'm definitely going to check out. Loved Golden Kamui. Great manga. Great anime, except for the, you know, hilariously shitty 3D bear, but that birthed some great memes, so I'm totally okay with that. Not much I can say about this, because, you know, Golden Kamui is great. If you haven't seen the first season of Golden Kamui, go check it out. Great show. Definitely gonna fuck with this one, though. Let's move on. Alright, up next we have Radiant, action, adventure, fantasy, magic. From Lurch Studios. Okay, good to see Lurch back at it again. 21 episodes though, so this is going to be a 2-course. That art style is kind of interesting. I don't know why it gave me like a Digimon vibe to it. Maybe it's just because, I don't know, very eccentric boy with spiky hair at the front. I don't know, but let's read the synopsis. Seth is an aspiring sorcerer from the Pompo Hills area. Like all wizards, he is an infected, one of the few living beings who survive the contact of the Nemesis, these creatures fallen from the sky that contaminate and decimate all those they touch. His apparent immunity made him choose a path which seemed to him to be all the more appropriate, to become a hunter and to fight the Nemesis. But more than that, Seth wants to engage in a quest that goes beyond the simple hunt for monsters. He wants to find the Radiant, their presumed cradle. Surrounded by a faction of sorcerers, he traveled the world in search of the Radiant under the terrible eye of the Inquisition. What is it this season with all of these, like, magic themed ones? Irozuku Sekai no was about a witch. We have Index, which is about witches. I don't know if it's just, you know, like coincidental that all these, you know, witches are kind of coming back to back to back. But is that the new trend? Is magicians the new trend? Is that why Crunchyroll's making a magic themed show? But it kind of sounds interesting. I'll probably check out the first couple of episodes to see what it's like. Alright, up next we have Ulysses Jean d'Arc Todenkin no Kishi. A light novel, of course, with a title like that, duh. Done by Axis Studios. Sounds familiar. Not sure though, but let's read the synopsis. During France's 100 Years' War with England, Montmorency, the son of a noble, immerses himself in the study of magic and alchemy at a school for knights. However, after France's defeat at Agincourt, the school is disbanded and Montmorency is forced to flee. While on the run, he meets a miraculous village girl named Jeanne. I'm assuming Jeanne d'Arc. The art style though looks pretty dope. Like, those outfits I can fuck with. Like, again, it has kind of like a Fate feeling to it, which I can absolutely fuck with. I don't know if I'm gonna check it out though. Haven't really heard a lot about it, but could be good. You know, it could be a hidden gem this season. We're gonna have to see though. Up next we have Fully Cool Alternative. Y'all already know I'm gonna fuck with this. Fully Cool is one of my favorite series of all time. I've been really enjoying the new seasons. And Studio Nut's gonna be partaking in this. Dude, I'm gonna be studio nutting all over the next episode, you know what I mean? Up next we have Conception. Like this Conception? Or like Conception, you know, like, I don't know. But it's an action and adventure fantasy harem magic romance. Again with the magic! There is so much magic this season, but this one is a harem. I don't think we've had yet. We haven't had a harem season in the lineup yet. Based off a game. Alright, it's one of those, huh? It's one of those like pick your waifu type of games, but let's read the synopsis. Story of the game revolves around Itsuki Yuge, a high school student who finds out on the day of his graduation ceremony that his cousin and childhood friend Mahiru is pregnant. Immediately afterward, Itsuki and Mahiru are taken to a magical world called Grandvania, which is currently being invaded by monsters. The only people who can fight and exorcise the monsters are the Star Children, and the Star Children can only be produced by the 12 Shrine Maidens of the constellations. In order to defeat the monsters and return to his own world, Itsuki must father the Star Children with the Maidens. What? Is this a show about teenage pregnancy? It's in the synopsis. His cousin and childhood friend Mahiru is pregnant after the graduation ceremony. Like, my mind is blown about that because I've never heard of an anime, let alone I've never heard of this game. A game about you having to literally father children and it not being a hentai. You know what I mean? Like, this is a harem. Like, this is most likely going to be an ecchi, but it's not a hentai. It's an all ages. Like, there's an anime coming out for this shit which is going to be on television. So it's not R18, but it's about pregnancy, it's about fathering children to defeat the evil spirit or whatever. My mind's blown. I have to check this out. I have to check this out because it's unlike anything I've ever heard of. Have you heard of a series where it deals with teenage pregnancy? I haven't, at least, you know, at least one that's not hentai. So, yeah. I don't know what to expect out of this. I do not know what to expect out of this at all. It could be absolute garbage, but at least they have the balls to kind of give a little, you know, risk take a little bit to give us a series about teenage pregnancy, or supposedly teenage pregnancy. That threw me aback. Holy shit. Anyway, let's move on. Alright, up next we have Yagate Kimi ni Naru, which is a shoujo ai. Good to see some good old-fashioned shoujo ai, some Yuri right there. Good shit. Let's read the synopsis. Yu has always loved shoujo manga and awaits the day she gets a love confession that sends her heart aflutter with bubbles and hearts. And yet when a junior high classmate confesses his feelings to her, she feels nothing. Disappointed and confused, Yu enters high school, still unsure how to respond. That's when Yu sees the beautiful student council president Nanami turn down a suitor with such maturity that she's inspired to ask her for help. And when the next person to confess to Yu is Nanami herself, has her shoujo romance finally begun. That just sounds like a really sweet shoujo ai. Straight up. No bullshit, no bullshit gimmick. Just girl falls in love with another girl and babies ensue. No, not really, but you know, the equivalent, the lesbian equivalent to that ensues. I can always fuck with that. I can always fuck with the, you know, if it's not broken, then don't try and fix it. There has been so many shoujo eyes out there and so many, like, you know, shonen eyes, some yaois, that tries to like just cram in all of these gimmicks, but you don't need it. Like some of the best shoujo ai manga that I've read is just about two girls falling in love. And it's how you can present it, how you can make those characters believable, and if they're believable and relatable and everything is all candies and rainbows, then hey, at the end of it, you're just like, yeah, that was pretty good, that was pretty entertaining. So, hey, I can totally fuck with that. Definitely gonna check that out though. So let's move on. Alright, up next is, of course, everybody's been waiting for it, Jojo Part 5. I'm disappointed that this is this far down in the list. Like, everybody should be fucking hyped for Jojo Part 5. There's a great saying in the Jojo community, which is the only people who don't like Jojo are the people who haven't seen it yet. I implore you, if you've never seen Jojo, watch it. I know a lot of people are very kind of, you know, off-put with the art style of Jojo. Like, Araki Sensei's art is very, very unique, very, very Western. But I guarantee it, I don't care if you're a boy or a girl, anywhere in between, if you're young, old, anywhere in between. Just give it a go. There is a reason why the JoJo community is so fucking heated about JoJo, why they're so passionate about JoJo. It's because this shit is fire, my boy. I'm telling you right now, it is fire. And this is going to be fire. David Production is back once again. They fucking killed it with all of the other JoJos that they've done. So yeah, it's gonna be good though. I guarantee it. Alright, up next we have Tonari no Kyuketsuki-san, which I've decided to pick up because it's the first slice of life genre show that we've seen on this list so far. Studio Gokumi, I know, have done a few things that I enjoyed. It's based off a Yonkoma manga, so it's obviously going to be much more comedy-centered than anything else, but let's read the synopsis. Modern-day vampire comedy centers a high school girl, Amano, who was saved from a strange incident by a vampire girl named Sophie Twilight, and has been interested in her ever since. Akari arrives at her house uninvited, and the two start to live together. Although a vampire, Sophie never attacks humans, but purchases blood and anime goods via mail and lives a modern life. So clearly this is, you know, one of those cutesy, you know, four-panel manga comedy series, which is, you know, kind of pertaining to the otaku culture, you know, with like a vampire that purchases anime goods online. Relatable and cute, am I right? And it is. Like, I'm saying that in a kind of sarcastic way, but it is cute. Let's be real. Like, we're all into it. So I'm definitely gonna check it out. See if it's any good. If it's funny at all. That's what I'm trying to look at. I'm gonna critique it harshly on the comedy element. Although it is slice of life, so I'm gonna put my expectations at a all-time low, as you should with every slice of life. But yeah, hoping it's at least entertaining in some way. Let's move on. Okay, up next we have Uchi no Meido ga Uzasugiru, which is a comedy slice of life, just straight up comedy slice of life. Doga Kobo, usually pretty good with those slice of life stuff. But yeah, let's read the synopsis. Having lost her mother at a young age, Misha Takanashi, a second grader with Russian blood, now lives with her Japanese father. Tsubame Kamoi, formerly a self-defense force officer, comes to the Takanashi household as a housekeeper. This is a home comedy where Kamoi, a hardcore lolicon, attempts to get near Misha as she tries to fight against her. You gotta love lolly-centered comedy, alright? And if there is like a badass chick who's into lollies, hilarity. So I'm gonna check this out. I feel like this is going to be my jam. But yeah, hoping it's good. Let's move on. Up next we have Beeland Saga. This is a horror. I think this is the first horror that I'm seeing on the list. So far I've scrolled through like up to here and I haven't seen a horror series yet, which is disappointing. I do enjoy my horror stuff, and I feel it's gonna be like a zombie apocalypse survival, you know, High School of the Dead, you know, Gakkou Gurashi-esque style stuff. I'm not sure which way they're gonna go about it from the picture that I'm seeing here. It looks like it's gonna lean more towards like a Gakkou Gurashi thing, where they get you with the cute characters and then they like hardcore juxtaposition it with like graphic horror. So it's not like a High School of the Dead thing where it's like, you know, mature and horror centered, but rather it's like a cutesy horror, which I feel has become a lot more of a trend, especially since Gakkou Gurashi like really blew up in the anime scene. We've seen a lot more of these kinds of like very hardly juxtapositioned, you know, differences in genre. Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be one of those, which I can absolutely fuck with. I really enjoyed Gakkou Gurashi. I really enjoy these kinds of like, you know, cutesy horror types of shows. They have their own little charm to them, I feel. So I'm hoping that this one is also going to be the same. Let's move on. Okay, I'm interested with this one, Hinomaru Zumo. This is a Shonen Jump sumo manga, and it's finally getting an anime. Have we seen an anime that focuses on sumo? I don't think so. But Hinomaru Zumo, I've read a few volumes of the manga, It's pretty fucking good. Like, it's lit. And look at that image, dude. Look at the amount of flames on that shit. And Gonzo is coming at it again. They always do these really, really nice animations. But, in case you don't know, let's read the synopsis. It is a divine ritual, a martial art, a combat sport. It's sumo. Hell yeah, it is. A small new student, Ushio Hinomaru, appears before the weak little sumo club of Odachi High School. The words big and heavy are the rules of the sport, which does not fit this newbie any inch. But this guy goes and does what? Huh? Ushio and the small sumo club climbs its way to the top. The goal is Hinoshita Kaisen, a title for the highest rank in professional sumo, equivalent to Yokozuna. A fired up high school sumo tale. No retakes allowed! Man, this synopsis really went a completely different direction from what I expected it to go. But yeah, it's fucking lit. Like, this manga, I really enjoyed this manga, and I was hoping for an anime adaptation, and boom, we're getting an anime adaptation. So, I feel like this one's gonna be pretty goddamn lit, so hoping that I'm right with that intuition. And last but not least, I'm gonna quickly just mention this one because that image got me really interested. Sonotoki Kanojo wa Romance Slice of Life. It's an original done by Masterlights. So it's an original done by a studio I've never heard of before. And that image doesn't seem like your typical anime style things. The story takes place in Fukuoka and follows the love lives of 4 female protagonists as high school students, college students, and as working adults. Which I can absolutely get with. Like these kinds of like very simple coming of age type stories are really nice. I really enjoy them. Hanasaku Iroha did a fucking fantastic adaptation of like a good coming of age romance slice of life, and I feel this one is kind of going to be the same, but from the look of it, a little bit more on the artistic side of things. It's not your conventional anime style. I really enjoy it when studios and, you know, anime series kind of, you know, risk take and, you know, do all sorts of little unique little things visually or narratively, and I feel this one is kind of going to be in that realm, so yeah, looking forward to checking that one out. But there you have it, guys. That is basically the end of what will I be watching for this fall 2018 anime season. Thank you again to Live Chart for always letting me look at your shit. You guys provide a good service. Let me know what you guys think about my first impressions, you know, my first takes on all these new series that are coming out, or maybe have already come out by the time you're watching this video. Let me know all that kind of stuff in the comments below. What series will you be watching this fall season? What series won't you be watching this fall season? And what do you think of all of my opinions on all the shows I gave? I'm really interested to hear all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, how do I feel about this fall season? I feel it's kind of lacking behind a little bit compared to the other seasons we had. I mean, summer and spring were full of some great ones. Although this season, I definitely have a few that I'm looking forward to in particular. Goblin Slayer, Toaru, Hinomaru Zumo. There are a few in there that look really interesting and might be really, really good. But yeah, we won't know until we check it out and give it a go. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching this episode of What Will I Be Watching for the fall 2018 anime season. If you enjoyed it, make sure to drop a like on your boy. It really helps out a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. As always, like and favorite if you enjoyed, subscribe for more anime banner, and I'll see you guys next video or whatever I make. Keep watching anime. Ciao now!